Okay, book review time. Over the last 4 or 5 days, yeah, because I got sidetracked. I read The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is billed as a modern twist on Agatha Christie, particularly the locked room murder mystery. In this, we have a group of friends. They've been friends since like forever, so you know what that's like. And they all meet up for New Year's Eve at a extremely remote hunting lodge in the wilds of Scotland, and they get snowed in, and then a body is discovered. Only it's not quite told like that. This is told in 2 timelines. So if that annoys you, don't pick this up. If you can cope with 2 timelines, that's great. The first timeline is 3 days before the murder. Everybody's arriving, everybody's getting together, and we are told the events from a few people's points of view. They're all in first person, so you need to keep in your head who you're reading. And I think my first point would be, I wish they had the name of the character at the top of the chapter. So like this chapter is Miranda's, but I wish while you're reading this chapter it had Miranda at the top of the page, just to remind you which character you're reading, because I put this down a couple of times in the middle of a chapter and couldn't remember which character I was reading about. I don't know if that's a fault on the characters, that I couldn't actually tell them easily apart, because they're all quite, in their own way, not very nice people. I mean, they're people, they're flawed. But at one point it got very samey reading characters' thoughts. But anyway, that's my little gripe there. So there's that timeline. The second timeline is told mainly from Heather, the secretary, and Doug, the gamekeeper's point of view. And that's when the body has been discovered. My other biggest gripe is at no point is this body given any identifying features or even a name as to which character has been bumped off. And I know it's been kept like that to keep the suspense of the other timeline going. So you're sitting there trying to work out, well, who's going to get bumped off and who's going to do it and why are they going to do it. But it was frustrating. I've read a lot of Agatha Christie, and I'm very used to a story kind of being told from A to B, with body being discovered at about point, a third, and then all the backstory coming out about all your characters. So I'm kind of used to that layout, but to have everything weaving literally around each other, so at no point can you mention who is dead. You can't even mention the colour of the hair, because that'll tell you or give you a massive clue as to which one of the characters it is. I found that frustrating. And if they ever do adapt this, that's probably going to be a bit of a problem, because obviously you're going to have the actor being seen on screen as a dead character. So I don't know how they would get around that problem. So you've got these 2 timelines being told, point of view, multiple characters, first person present. So there's a lot of info to keep in your head. There's a lot of places to keep track of. There's a lot of, well, which character's doing what and what said what and who said what to who. And that's a lot of info for basically a very straightforward murder mystery. I was quite frustrated with this book for probably the first half. And then I went with it, and I just thought, sod it, I'm going to read this. I admit my favourite characters are not in the main group of friends. Not by a long shot. These are people I would have never, ever have mingled with in my entire life. At all. They are all rich or extremely well off, or think they're very well off and behave as such. They drink, they do drugs, they party, they have a history of this. And it's pretty obvious that over time some of these friends have moved on with their lives, and they're not kind of allowed to just break away from the friendship group. As it keeps being referred to, these are the core friends, and everybody else has dropped off, but the core friends that stay together. And I was reading a lot of the various characters' viewpoints and thinking, no, you guys aren't friends. You've got nothing in common. Friends have something in common, not just the fact that they went to university together or went to school together. That's not how friendship works. you know, you guys can barely tolerate each other, and it's pretty obvious you can't tolerate each other. You know, they have a big dinner on the night they arrive, and they're sitting there and they have no conversation. There's no natural flow. They might as well be strangers in a room that have been forced together. So it's quite interesting. I found myself enjoying this book more as a character study on people and how people behave and the portrayals that people will give out for the public and for certain other people that they know, their friends or friends. It was quite a good way of looking at how people behave in certain situations and how people have changed over time. So it was quite interesting. Yes, it's cleverly told, you know, multiple character views and twisting timelines. It's not a new concept. You know, fantasy stories do this a lot, so it's not something I'm not used to. It might be one of the first to do it in crime. I'm not 100% sure on that. And you can certainly see a lot of the influences from a locked room mystery and all the secrets that people hide and how people can very easily have motives for bumping somebody else off. It's all there. It's got all those classic murder mystery tropes in it, but it's just told in a modern way, and it's involving modern people. You know, these people could be very easily living around today. You know, this book, I mean, it's certainly set in the present time, but it very much feels like a book of today. But with a couple of tweaks, this could be a book set in 1930s or 50s. The locked room murder mystery is a timeless concept, and all this has done is brought it into the modern day and shown that actually you can make this relevant to today's audience, but it's the same story being told. Does that make sense? What I really like about Agatha Christie books is you feel for her characters. They all have a secret. They all have something they don't want to come out. And she's very good at showing that. I'm going to reference a Doctor Who episode, The Unicorn and the Wasp, which looks at a murder mystery involving aliens and Agatha Christie. And one of the key things the Doctor says is Agatha Christie knows people. She writes people. And Lucy has written about people. These characters in here could very easily be someone she has known at university, or she knows in the work office, or down the street. It's those kind of characters, and I think that's why this has done so well. There's no major psychological trauma that our detective has to deal with. There's no like hidden darkness in the book like in so many other crime novels. This is a straightforward study of people in a contained situation, which is feeling very reminiscent of the current times. So this might be the book for lockdown. There we go. But yeah, so The Hunting Party, I will recommend it. It is one to stick with. It is one to either pay attention hugely to or take notes. I have to say I found it extremely satisfying once I knew who had been bumped off, because I was very pleased it was that particular character. I'm not going to spoil it for you. The reason kind of makes sense as well. So it did hang together for me as a satisfying murder. God, that makes me sound really sick, doesn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I am going to recommend this, particularly if you want a classic locked room mystery that feels very today. That's what this book is. There we are. Have you read The Hunting Party? It's been out a little while now. There is a second book written by Lucy called The Guest List. So I might try that. That's a white cover, ironically, which is quite nice. Having read this and enjoyed this, I will probably give The Guest List a go and see what I think of that and see if she can do it again. Have you read it though? Comments down below. Don't spoil it though for people that haven't read it, because obviously being a murder mystery, part of the satisfaction is trying to solve the crime yourself. So please don't spoil it. But yeah, let me know your general thoughts on the book. Did you enjoy it? And what is your favourite murder mystery book out there? I'd have to have a good think about that. But I probably would plump for either an Agatha Christie or Sherlock Holmes, but that really tells my style of crime books. So there we go. As always, in the description box down below is a link to a small booktuber. Please go and check them out. My social media links could be found there as well, so you can come and say hi wherever you fancy. Just be nice about it. And also the link to my book blog as well. So thank you very much, as always, for watching, and happy reading. Stay safe. Bye.